Hey, everyone. This is Mark Franken from Marked in Time, and this is episode, I'd say 13. I think the last one was 12 and a half. I can't remember anymore. Anyways, episode 13 of Treasures Found in a Bag of Broken Watches. And I'm going to full disclosure here. I had this bag opened just a little bit, and I'll tell you why. So my good friend Fred, he dropped off a bag of watches, and I kind of left it on the counter. And my wife picked it up and started looking through it, just keeping the bag closed, but kind of looking at them. And she found something she fell in love with. And I have a really hard time saying no to my wife. I know it's wrong, but I had a really hard time saying no to my wife. And what she saw was this little gem here. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. This here, let's let me zoom in on it a little bit. This here is a Coach watch. I got to get a new crystal for it, but this is a Coach watch, a fashion watch. You can even tell right on the dial here the Coach kind of, well, there's the logo, but then the actual Coach design on all their fashion brands. If you don't know, Coach makes these handbags that are like a couple $1,000s, or it's a very expensive name. This watch, brand new, would have been about $300 in that kind of a price range there. I fished the watch out of the bag. I honestly, I thought this was a knockoff, to be honest with you. I thought this was a knockoff. I thought it was a cheap plastic thing, but this is actually ceramic. The bracelet and everything is ceramic. And when I started to take it apart and look at it, the first thing I thought was really interesting was this is really badly scratched up. I still could use a bit more of a buffing, to be honest with you. But when I started buffing this down, I was expecting this to turn into copper. I figured copper would start showing in this in no time. But I used a heavy polisher on it and my Dremel, which I use for detail work. And it stayed as steel. Like it never buffed off. So all of a sudden, that was my first indication that this could be actually real. I then opened it up, and it has a very expensive Miyota movement in it. It's a Japanese movement, which I thought was originally kind of a plastic. This is ceramic. So this is a complete ceramic case, ceramic bracelet. The clasp is not the best, but it's kind of goes within the $300 bracket anyways. Stainless steel clasp on it. Does have the Coach name on the back here. It's got the proper Coach insignias on the back of the watch itself. You can see it there. It's a bit of an older model. The newer models, they have a little bit different, but I checked the serial numbers, and this is actually an authentic Coach watch. I was actually really quite surprised. So I gave it a quick cleaning, and I threw a new battery in it, and I gave it to my wife. And I want this to be like full disclosure that I did open the bag up for this one piece, but I haven't been through any of the other watches. It was just she saw it, she wanted to take it, like just fell in love with this thing. And so yeah, so this came out of this bag that I'm opening up today, properly opening up and going through. But this watch came out of this bag as well. This might be the treasure. I don't know. It will all depend once I get through the bag to see what else is in there, but this might actually be the treasure. And like I said, if you go on the Coach website, something similar is about $300, between $200 to $300 Canadian. They don't make this, I didn't see this particular one on the website. When it came out of the bag, a couple of the indices fell off it. It was kind of like floating around on the crystal. As you could tell with the lighting that the crystal does need to be probably replaced. It was in pretty bad shape. I didn't put too much time into it, but enough that you could start wearing it anyways. But anyway, so that takes care of this one. The other one, at my last video, I had this funny looking watch. I said that I was crazy to actually spend time trying to fix it up. This one had some kind of a fake, like some like aged brass or patinaed brass kind of a look. And to my surprise, when I started polishing the coating off of it to see what I can do with this piece, it's a brass case. So I kind of just going to let it sit, and being in Nova Scotia, this will patina pretty quickly. It has the band on it, which is virtually brand new. I put a new clasp on it. The clasp is a, it's hard to tell, but that is a rose gold. not exactly what I wanted for, it was missing the buckle. If you saw the other video, it was missing the buckle here. So I put a rose gold one on because I wanted to mimic the rose gold on the hands, but I never got around to messing around with the hands at all. But I want to see how this patina's. Oddly enough, it still has a real glass crystal on it. It's as cheap as you get, but for some reason, I don't know. I kind of like the feel of this watch. I'm probably not going to keep it myself, but I have a couple of friends that do a lot of traveling that might actually enjoy something like this. And I kind of like how you see the airplane go around. I think it's kind of a cool little timepiece. But anyways, enough of that. What we'll do is we'll get into the actual bag of watches here. Before we start, I'm going to remember this time I did get a pair of gloves. And there we go. I'm going to don a pair of gloves. I was so grossed out last time. I didn't wear my gloves, and man, I tell you, I must have washed my hands a few times. Oh, and the other watch, too, that came out of the other bag is this, I'm going to kind of pop the screen back up here, is this Cardinal, this Bulova, Chevelle by Bulova. I polished it up. I put a battery in it. The movement started working right away, but it is a Bulova. They use really good movements. The only thing is I have a crystal. I'm trying to find a crystal for it. This crystal's in really bad shape, but it's look at that. Look in the light. It's just been, like I said in the last video, this watch has been thoroughly loved. But I've been kind of wearing it. It's super comfortable. That was the one where I had the extra link to it, which I still have kind of kicking around here. Yeah, this is the extra link to it. You can tell what's polished and what's not been polished. But solid stainless steel bracelet, very comfortable to wear. I've been kind of kicking around with this for a little bit. The one nice thing is being so badly scratched up, I'm not worried if I bang this watch off of things. So it's become kind of my go-to work watch lately, although it is a dress watch. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go and open this bag up. So $9.99 seems to be the going rate. No surprise there. And again, this bag was picked up by a good friend of mine, Fred. I'm going to move the bag out of the way, and then we'll start fishing through it. So let's see. Okay, well, that's just a frame. Actually, kind of like it. Luckily, this frame has normal lugs in it, so I can get the band off of that. It's kind of a cool band. This is for a Fitbit. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a Fitbit Brave or something like that. Anyways, then we have here our typical cheap watch. Still even has the coating on the back sticker. No name brand. What? Has a decent band on it. It's a vinyl band. It's not genuine leather, but for if I was going to sell something, I could throw that band on something. It's kind of a nice color. And this is brand new. I could tell you that right now. This is absolutely a brand new watch. It always amazes me. Not an expensive watch, maybe a couple of bucks. Dollar store special kind of a thing, but all right, we'll put that off to the side. Okay, what do we got here? This is a glow. I've seen these before. Glow blue. This is where the whole thing lights up. Wow, that's terrible. That's terrible. Nice hands, though. I kind of like the hands on it. This is, I guess this might be a Nova Scotia thing with all the salt in the air, the way this, you can just see this corrosion here, right? Like that is just, it's just like a salt corrosion on it. Like that's not into the metal. You can actually see the metal start to shine up by just doing that. But it's just some kind of, I don't know. I have no idea what kind of metal this is. This is cheap metal, but anyways, we'll put that off to the side. I might just take the movement out of it. If the movement works, I might take the movement out of that one. Well, that's a nice movement in there. I don't know where the case back is, but probably inside. Huh, that's working too. This is interesting. You see the second hand here. I actually, let's zoom in on that a little bit. I had seen this second hand before. It's a little airplane that flies around. I've actually seen the second hand like this before. I added it to another watch, as in kind of a conversation thing to kind of break up the boring of the watch. I added this second hand, but identical to this one. This case is in pretty good shape. I really hope there's a case back to it. This has a nice Miyota movement in it too. Go figure Miyota movements, right? Like they just work, no case on it, banging around in a bag of watches, and yet still just happily ticking away. That's one thing I love about Miyota. They are so bloody dependable. This is actually a pretty new watch as well. I wonder how that ended up being trashed. I'm going to keep that off to the side. And then we have Cutter and Buck. I have a feeling that's not the manufacturer. That's a cheap movement in there. One genuine leather band, though. That is a leather band. I can tell that is a genuine leather band. I wish watch manufacturers, like the people that create these, I wish they put better backing on, like a better backing on them. I always hate that look when the leather, when this backing always cracks. It always cheapens the band, I find. But yeah, that's a cheap, it's a Japanese movement, but that's a cheap movement. It's actually kind of a nice looking watch. I like the, I like this kind of off-white, beigey type dial. Cutter and Buck. I've never heard of that. I don't know if that's the manufacturer or if that's the some company that this watch was advertising for. I don't know. It looks like a stainless steel case though. I'm going to keep that. Hopefully there's a back on that too. Yeah, this monstrosity. Wow. Oh my God. How do these make it? Like, how do these end up? I mean, you know, I always try to have a bit of an open mind as to people liking certain styles. But my God, that is god-awful ugly. Even the band is ugly. Okay, well, off to the side that goes. Wow. Holy crap. What does that say? 1 second here, guys. I'm just going to pull it out of the camera thing so I can read that. Geneva. Yeah, I've heard of this. This is a cheap fashion brand watch. You know, the downfall of this piece actually is the band. I actually don't mind. There's some corrosion inside of it. You can see right... Oh, that's not a good pointer. Yeah. You can see right... It's hard to tell with the light, but you can see right in here. There's a... See right in there, there's some type of corrosion. I wouldn't be surprised if the inside is completely shot. Oh, there you see it really well. See what I'm talking about? Right in here. Some serious... Which is a shame because it looks like it's a nice... It looks like it would have been at one point a nice looking dial on that. Geneva, Japan movement. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I can't really say too much about that other than, yeah, that's... Might take the movement out of it. Jesus, what's going on with this thing? What does that say? Armani Exchange. Holy Christ. Is that ever gummed up? What the... God almighty, what the hell is this crap? Ew. Look how scratched this thing is. Holy God. Although, that's got a really nice dial to it. That is a huge, huge watch. It's got a nice chapter ring. I like this. It's in bad shape, but oh my God, is this thing ever beaten up? Armani Exchange, all stainless steel, ATM, 121,505. I wonder if this works. I wonder how that's going to clean up, because I tell you, wow, is that ever beaten? I've heard of Armani watches, like Armani. I don't know if I've ever heard of Armani Exchange. I've got to look that up. I really like the complications though on this, and those are real complications. They're not those fake ones you sometimes hear me harping about when they put fake complications to make a dial look busy when they're just fake. Those are real complications. Those are real hands on those. I'm gonna have to look up this Armani Exchange thing because I've heard of Armani, but I don't know what Armani Exchange is. That is, just to give you an idea, like this is my wrist. Put that up against the side. Look, whoops. Look at the size of this. Like that is huge. I have about a 7.5 wrist, 7.25 wrist. That is gargantuan. Like, you can cover the whole other... Here, I'll zoom out a little bit, and then you'll see... Like, that is massive. Although, the way my eyesight is going, this is probably going to help me out. You know what? The more I hold on to this, the more I look at it, the more I kind of like it. Man, it really needs to be fixed up, though. Oh, wow, it's just ever messed up. But that's, if I'm not mistaken, that is solid stainless steel. Anyways, I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to get this fixed up. This is... I think potentially once all the scratches are out of it, this could potentially be a pretty decent watch. You know, I mean, if you have a 10-inch wrist, kidding. I don't think anyone has a 10. Well, maybe somebody does. I'm going to put that off to the side. That's just a band. That's a crappy band. Sorry, there we go. Crappy band. I can go toss over there. And then what do we have here? Oh, yeah, the Timex. Ladies Timex. Serial numbered and everything. Assembly in the Philippines. Those used to be so popular. So popular. And then we have a... Well, that's interesting. Look at that. It works too. pretty soon this is going to be a bag of working watches if this keeps up. This is now what, 2 watches now that's come out of this bag working. This one has a case back though, I can feel it. 1995 Parpic Westco. That's actually not in bad shape. Anyone who likes a real pusher, I don't know what it does. Well, one battery's dead, that's for sure. I don't know what that's supposed to do. But it is working. Look at that. Even the band had, like, that's a dedicated watch. Look at that. Star Trek Voyager. Genuine leather. This is actually, I know it's hard to tell from video, but this is quite a nice band. It's quite a nice watch. That is actually quite a nice watch. I mean, if you're into Star Trek, this could be something like a real kind of a cool little thing if you're a Star Trek Voyager fan. Last time I watched Star Trek was Deep Space Nine, so I don't know where Voyager would line up in that. And that was, gosh, I'm afraid to think how many years ago that was. But there you go. I'm going to put that off to the side. What do we have here? Some other ladies' watch. Never heard of this company before. Oh, more in quartz. Kind of a cool band, though. Cool. I don't know where I'm going to go with that one. One of these wooden watches. Lee Valley. Lee Valley. That I could see this now. I mean, obviously, via Lee Valley. It's not made by Lee Valley, but I can honestly say, get why Lee Valley would have a watch that would be a wooden watch to have their name on it. For those who don't know, Lee Valley supplies woodworking tools. They're usually in Canada. They're located in all major cities. It's in kind of a cool store you go into, and then you go up to the counter and you just tell them what you want, and they hand the tool over the counter to you. But it's in they're in high-end woodworking tools, like really nice stuff. So if anyone would have their name on a wooden watch, I can see it being Lee Valley. That's a cool advertisement on their part. I can so see that. That's a nice little thing. That's a nice little. I can't remember the manufacturers of these though, because I've seen these before. I've seen these before, but with different names on them. I'm going to put that off to the side. Oh my gosh, look at that. Identical. Here's another one. Look at that. There's the Lee Valley one, and this is just wood watch. That is weird. I wonder why there'd be 2 in one bag. That is so strange. That is so strange. Those are absolutely identical. That's odd. Anyways, wait. Obviously, I think these were put in the bag together or came out from wherever together. That's not a watch. That's a bracelet. That's just a bracelet. What do we got here? Milan. I've talked about this company before. This is not one of their better examples of a Milan watch, but they do have some really cool designs. I talked about in my other video, we had a Milan watch that was really, really cool looking, but unfortunately they use all the cheapest materials in their build, which is sad, because their designs are pretty nice. Oh, that's disgusting. I can't even tell what that is. It's one of those brooch watches where you dangles, and then when someone wants to see the time, they just kind of pull it up, take a look at it. That's why it's upside down. No case on it. I think that's a Miyota movement. Just going to take this out of screenshot for a second here, just to see if I can... Oh, Bulova. That's a Bulova. Wow. And a cracked crystal on it. This thing's been pretty beaten up. Definitely going to keep the movement out of it. Oh, seriously? 3? 3 wood watches. Okay, somebody really had a passion for these things. Wow. 3 identical watches in one bag. That's strange. Wonder what the story would be behind that. And what do we got here? Oh, man. Ashley. I like the dial on that. I like these kind of these satin dials that reflect the light. That is, it's hard to tell from the video, but that is a beautiful red. Oh, the band is absolutely terrible, but I'll tell you right now, what I would do with this is I would keep the actual dial attached to the movement, providing the movement is a decent movement. I'm not sure what the movement would be in here. I don't know if I can open this up here. It's hard to... This is hard to do on the belt. Oh man, this thing is tight. I can't even tell where you're supposed to. Well, I'm right off camera. I think I'm going to use a razor blade to get into it. Wow, that is... I can't even tell where you're supposed to get into this. Usually you see a little... Well, this is where... Holy crap, is that ever tight? Oh well, not worth it. I'll figure out that later on. It's hard to do when I'm doing this on camera, but that's... I definitely would keep the dial out of this, use it in another project, because that's actually really cool. The rest of this can go in the garbage. Case is terrible, the band is terrible, I get to see the corrosion. But the dial is nice, I like that. Put that off to the side. No, that's a Fitbit band. What's this one here? Ernie Martin. I think this is the second Ernie Martin. Yeah, that's... You know, I've never been a fan of... Well, this actually, if you were to take this off, this would have a normal lug width, but like normal lugs. But I've never been a huge fan of integrated bands into the watch case. But this is sort of reminiscent of that, but it's not a real bezel. Not too fond of that. Cheap build quality, broken band. What's this? Oh, an ACO. ACO. I think that's like a Walmart type of a thing, watch. Kind of a neat band on that. Oh, it's pretty chewed up though, unfortunately. I tell you, no short of ugly fashion watches, that's for sure. Timex. Can't even. Well, here we go. A Parker. What if it's the same thing as the Parker pens? It's missing the crown. $17 jewel, I think that says. So that's an actual, that's a wind-up watch for those. 17 jewels. Well, really interesting on how that looks on the inside. We're getting down to the bottom here. What else we have here? I'm just going to empty the bag out here. There we go. Scoggin in a bag. I wonder how the hell did that happen? That's weird. That is an amazing shape. The Scoggin. I can tell it needs a special type of band for it. Looks like the band screws in, so instead of lugs, you put the band in and then screw it down? How does that work? That's weird. Scoggin. That's a very, very attractive watch. Wow. There was a Scoggin in the last bag that we had as well. It was a lady Scoggin. It was actually, I believe I used it as the thumbnail for the video, last video that I made. This is an, that is really cool. Look how thin that is. I like that. I'm going to actually put that back in the little bag. That's weird. I wonder how that happened. Scoggin. I'm going to put that off to the side. That's strange. Those are beads. Hi. RBC. So that's just one of those cheap commemorative watches I think they give employees and stuff like that. It's not even that attractive, although there's a date complication on it. I bet that has like a decent movement in it though. Continental? Continental. Geneva. I think that's what it says. Gosh, my eyesight's getting worse and worse and worse. Well, that's handy. Yeah, why don't I just do that? Continental Geneva. Swiss quartz. A Swiss quartz. I've never... Look at that dirt. My God, guys. Like, this is why I felt so disgusted last time not wearing a watch. Not wearing my gloves while doing this. Look at that. I just... What in God's green earth? How does that end up? Oh my God. After... That is just... I wonder what a Swiss quartz is. See here, you get a proper... That's a proper lip. I'm going to try again, pop another case back off. Although I have a feeling this will be hard as well. Oh, that's pretty chewed up. Boy, I'm really batting 1,000 with getting case backs off. Holy Moses. You know what the problem is I guess they've had so many battery changes over their, over the life of the watch that they get really badly chewed up. Oh, there we go. Yay, got one. Wow, that was not expecting that. That's an interesting, that is a full-on movement. That's a very nice looking movement. You know, considering how much dirt's on the outside, it seems pretty clean. Ronda. It's a Ronda movement. I believe that's what that says right there, Ronda. It's hard to do this on camera here. I'm actually literally looking through the camera while I'm doing this. So that's not corrosion, that was just, that's just, that is actually a really cool movement. Huh. Well, lo and behold, that's definitely something I'm keeping out of this watch. Okay. Put that off to the side. And I think there's just one more left. And, oh, here's a case back. That's a case back to something. Wow, that's just, yeah, not much to say about that. That's just old, and I don't never even heard of it. Well, it's called ick. So, ick. I have to agree, that's ick. All right. Anyway, let's put that off. I'm just curious to see if this is the case back to this one, because... Oh, it is. Good. Good. Oddly enough, I got to use a tool for that one. I like this. I like this little watch. I don't have to use a tool to get that case back on, but I'm glad that came with a case back. And then not much else left here, just some chain. And, oh no, there is one more. Sorry, guys. There's one more watch. Here we go. What's this? Timex? See, now that's a real leather band. And that's what I was saying before. Remember I was saying earlier about the cracking on those cheap backing? This is what I kind of like instead. I like an actual real leather band where it's leather through and through. Kind of like that better. And there's you got Timex quartz. Ladies Timex quartz. Yeah, I don't think there's any value in these. But there we go. Well, there you have it. So I am thinking, wow, this is a hard decision for what would be the treasures out of today's bag. I like this one. That one I want to really get fixed up. The that Armani Exchange. This one here is the Skagen. I got to see if I can get a strap for that. It's an integrated. It looks like some kind of an integrated strap. I don't know if I can get another one. And my wife's Coach watch. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It is a treasure, I guess, but since it really wasn't part of this bag, because I took it out of the bag beforehand, I don't think that qualifies in my world. I think that should be the punishment to myself by pulling this out ahead of time. So what we're going to do, I think it's either one of these two. This one would be kind of like a distant third, maybe. Only because it's got a stainless steel case. I find this is an attractive watch as well. Cheap movement in it. I don't know if that's the manufacturer of the watch or just some company that it's advertising for. It does have the date complication. This one here, depending on if I can get this cleaned up well enough, and if it works, then I'm going to. I would have to say that this would be the treasure found in this one, and I don't know what the value is. I've never even heard of the Armani Exchange. Skagen I did hear of. I find this is really strange that it's sitting in a little Ziploc bag. Cute little watch. I like it. I find its simplicity is really beautiful. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out if I can get a band for this thing. So there we go. These are the three, I think, three treasures basically out of this one. So, yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you want any for the next video to come up. And thank you very much.